Today's show brought to you in part by GoToMeeting. For a free 30-day trial, use code podcast at gotomeeting.com.
How much food is in that bowl? How much is a handful? Find out next on Tales from the Road.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tales from the Road. I'm Courtney Wallen, of course, joined by Dr. Wendy. Man, the aroma.
Right?
It's so hungry.
So hard to film these over lunch.
I know. Horrible idea to do this over lunch. Exactly. Today we're going to be talking about how much to feed. And in our last couple episodes, it was kind of leading up to this. And this is a question I have. It's a little confusing sometimes, especially as your pets grow. People have different pets. So let's start. We've got a food quiz bowl we're going to have, right?
Yes, we are. We've got the food bowl quiz. So not to be confused with math bowl or science bowl or anything else. So what I have here, we've got a couple of things. I've got, and we'll come out here, on our little wide. Okay, this is a fairly typical cat feeding dish, water food side. All right, so we have this one here. Okay, so we have to decide how much food is probably in these little guys.
How, like, cup-wise?
Yeah.
I would say a half cup.
Half cup. Okay, excellent eye, Courtney.
Oh,
good job.
Well.
Okay, now we have, now this is not quite a cereal bowl. It's more of a saucer size.
Yes.
So we'll go ahead and see how much you think that one might be.
Maybe I'll say that was a half. That's a cup.
Okay, how about this guy?
Cup and a half.
Cup and a half. Okay.
This is hard.
How about this one? Give you.
I'm probably going to be wrong. I'm just going to go up 2 cups.
2 cups, okay.
And
how
that's
about this guy?
4 cups.
All right. All right. Courtney has done a fairly good job on our food bowl quiz today. In our cat cup, in our cat bowl here, we have a half a cup. Both of these bowls have 1 cup. Okay. So
I knew there's probably a trick there. Okay.
The premise of smaller dish equals perceived more holds true. This has 2 cups in it. And this is 6.
Ooh.
Yeah. Pack it in there. So now the other little part of our food bowl quiz that we're going to have is, what is a cup?
What is a cup?
What is a cup? So we have several cups here. We've got a cup and a cup.
And a cup.
And a cup. And a cup.
See, this wasn't product placement.
That's right, not product placement. It's actually here for intent. So when someone comes into the clinic and into the exam room and we ask, well, how much are you getting? And they say, 2 cups. And I'm thinking, well, okay, is it a cup or a cup or a cup?
Yeah, what's a cup?
What is a cup? So when we're talking about how much to feed your pet and what the volume should be, they need to be actual measuring cups. So grab one out of the kitchen, go to the dollar store and buy one for their own. But they need to be cups and they need to be level. Okay. So if you have, if you have a pet who needs 1 cup of food a day, it comes real easy. Just scoop it up, off, and there's your cup. Now, do not complicate your life. You got a lot of things going on in the RV. You're on your trip. You don't want to be like, okay, so you get a cup that's the size for what you need, right? So if you need a 1/4 of a cup a day for your cat,
just get a 1/4.
1/4 cup. And then, again, scoop it, level it off you go. So that's one of the big tricks. Now, everyone assumes, coffee cup.
That's a cup.
It's a cup, right? Well, let's see how much is actually in a coffee cup. All right, let's see. All right, well, there's a cup. All right, so we got a cup and a half was actually in this coffee cup. Now we know coffee cups all have a little bit different size.
Sometimes you get bigger.
Right, yeah, if you've got like, huge coffee house mug.
The
that's
jet
like
fuel
bowl,
kind of.
Yeah. And so you don't want to assume that, that some other regular drinking cup is a cup.
Right.
So want to make sure we know that. The other big offender for being really inaccurate for measuring are the scoops, so the feed scoops. And even though they have lines on them, they're very variable. Because if you figure how much more would be in this cup level versus heaping, right? So, and that's what happens with a scoop.
Gotcha.
So use the container for the size that you need, make your life simple, and that's going to help you. And you may find you have quite a bit smaller grocery bill as well.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
it's like couponing without the couponing.
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's right.
So, I'll have to try that out because I think my situation is I have 2 animals and one is alpha, and so I put out 2 feeding bowls so that if one is guarding, and you're saying do some separate feeding time.
Time for private dining.
Private
Yes,
dining.
time for
It's
private
gonna
dining.
get classy in our house.
Yes, because it's very elegant.
Yeah.
It just involves shutting a door.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's huge because like in your situation with the two cats, now we have one cat who's guarding the food bowl and is now just eating 2 bowls worth of food.
And you can tell, believe it or not. I'm
Yeah.
thinking I wanted a Garfield cat, and now I have Garfield. I should just feed him lasagna, and
I was gonna
things
say,
would probably be easier.
So we're going to refer back to episode 121 about treat and human foods on that
Yeah.
topic. But
Yes, go back and watch that one.
That's right.
So we're talking like how many calories are in this kind of food? How many? The last episode we talked about a piece of cheese equals this for humans.
Right.
So the caloric intake that they're having on this, how many calories does cat food have? Is there or dog food? Is there actually like
there's
the
calorie
nutrition
information.
facts?
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't checked
Absolutely.
it out.
They are hard to find on a bag.
Okay.
But there are really good resources for finding them. One of my very favorite ones is called Pet Obesity Prevention or Prevent
Okay.
Pet Obesity. Anyway.
One of those words all
It's-
put together.
She'll put it in post.
Okay.
But it is, it's a fantastic site, not only for obesity prevention, but also to really help for pets who do need to do some weight loss. And it has an excellent resource for, there must be several hundred, if not 1,000 foods that are in there with all the calorie content information. But they can vary a ton. So we could have a dog food who maybe has 350 calories a cup, or we could have one that has 550. So a half a
Gotcha.
cup of one is not equal to a half a cup of the other. And cat foods are notorious for being highly variable. So they can be everywhere from in the 200s to 500s. So we throw the canned foods in there, and not even the same, like not all the fancy feasts are the same calories per can.
Right.
It depends on the ingredients and what they've got going. So you can use those types of resources to try to help that. Your veterinarian is going to be able to find those for you, and your veterinarian is going to help you calculate how much your cat actually needs, because
Gotcha.
that's an important first step. It's great to know how many calories are out there, but you got to know how many you need.
So those are the calories for the food. Now, if we get into the treats, obviously you have to be careful because you don't want to give your cat so many treats, but those carry
Right.
calories as well. So you need to
Absolutely.
add those up as well. I mean, a little dog or cat treat, how much does that typically
Well,
carry?
they're really surprising. They can be, we get a little like puppy-sized milk bone, maybe 10, 20 calories, but like the large or extra large milk bones are equivalent to a half to two-thirds of a cup of most foods.
Wow.
So it's huge impact on those. And then we throw in the people food and that kind of thing. So everything that goes in counts. That's the first rule. And we also want to be real careful with treats because they're not nutritionally balanced. So my dark chocolate is not nutritionally balanced. So
What?
out of
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
so out of our allotment of calories for a day, then we really only want 10% or less of those to actually come from a treat food, so that your pet is still getting all the nutrients that they need. Now, one way to circumvent this is to use actually a food called TD. And as long as your pet doesn't have food allergies or need to be on another food for a specific reason, it's fantastic. And what we do with it in our house, it's a completely nutritionally balanced food. You can use it as a food, but we use it as a treat in our house. And not only are we not getting non-nutritional calories, not getting non-nutritional calories, see how many double negatives I can throw in here, but we also, the added benefit is it actually helps remove plaque and tartar from the teeth.
Oh.
So if you're going to give your pet a treat, give them one that's actually going to give them a health benefit.
Gotcha. Okay, so you see a lot out there. That's something to look for, of course, and they all natural, the organic treats, things like that. What are your thoughts on that? Is it?
Some things are really good. I think it's very vogue right now to have a designer food to have really crazy ingredients in it and all these things. There's actually technically no such thing as a holistic food.
Okay.
The very definition of holistic means that you're taking into account body, mind, and spirit, and we don't do that with food.
All right.
Except for dark chocolate.
Except for dark chocolate, yes.
But there's actually no regulatory definition for holistic, and a lot of people exchange that for just meaning better. And it doesn't necessarily. We also tend to get really hung up on grains and not grains, and corn and not corn, and that kind of thing. And we have to remember, especially dogs. Now, cats have a different nutrition requirement from dogs, but especially dogs, they're scavengers by nature. And so they do eat vegetable matter. They do eat meat matter. They're
anything.
Not, yeah, they're not obligate carnivores. So they do eat a lot of different things, and they can process things and get a lot of nutritional value out of them.
Even couches and shoes.
Yes, they will eat those. Less nutritional value.
Less nutritional. What are the calories in a shoelace?
Right, yeah.
Let's not go there, because I'm sure a lot of people at home are going, oh, I remember when that happened.
Yeah.
So lots of good stuff. And we're talking that this is a lifestyle, and this goes, the same for us humans. Mm-hmm. This isn't a diet. It's a lifestyle change, really, is what you want to get it started young. And if you didn't start this young, like me, now I got a fat cat I got to worry about, it's starting to change that lifestyle for your pets.
Yeah, it is. And you need to take it from that aspect that you're going to be, that this is for the long haul, and that we're not doing diets, because everybody hates diets and they don't work. What you do is you make a lifestyle choice, and your lifestyle choice is, I'm going to make my pet as healthy and as comfortable and happy for as long as possible. And the 3 big ways that you do that are: you keep them at their ideal weight, you make sure they're up to date on all their preventive care and parasite control, and you make sure their teeth are healthy. And if you do those 3 things, you're going to lower their risk for about a dozen different diseases.
They're golden. And it's manageable on the road. So you start it at home, and then when you hit the road, you've got this all in place.
They're used to meal feeding. They're used to, because it's not always real convenient to just have food laying out all the time in the RV.
Right.
So get them used to a meal feeding now.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
So I'll be set, hopefully, here, and I'll report on my fat cat in the next episode of Tales from the Road. Anyways, of course, Tales from the Road now has its very own board on RVNN's Pinterest. Be sure to look for that. We've got lots of, maybe we'll do some fat cat pictures and some fun stuff there, but of course, really informative things as well.
That's right.
And you can find RVNN on Google+. You can give us a thumbs up on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Not only follow us on Twitter, but if you hashtag TFTR, which stands for Tales from the Road, which is the show we're on.
Who knew?
Yeah, who knew? If you hashtag that, you can ask Dr. Wendy a question. We can answer it in the next episode. So be sure to start conversation that way. And we've got a great episode lined up next week. And this has been really informative. And now I guess we just dig in.
No, it's time for lunch.
Yeah, so we'll see you next time.
Hey, Gabe, wanna go for a walk? Gabe? Gabe? Gabe?
Hey, buddy, you lost? Hold on.
If your pet is the adventuresome type, be sure he's connected to Pet Hub. A quick scan using any smartphone shares your pet's vital information so that even his wildest escapades have a happy ending. Pet Hub, reuniting pets with their families.
Come on, Gabe, let's go home.